What drew me originally to the films is the idea of me being a super genius, of course, but more than that, actually. After I read it, I went, you know, this is kind of a cool way to do the superhero genre. You know, it's kind of different, and and it's got a heart. It really does kind of have a heart in this, you know, world where, you know, life is a masterpiece of horror most of the time. You know, it's nice to bring your family to a film and you can enjoy it because you grew up with the game and the kids can enjoy it. So I think it's great. I think this movie is going to entertain people. It's going to bring families together. Well, he was recovering from defeat. You know, he's a sore loser, and you know, guys like that, they really have to self-medicate, and he did it with carbohydrates and Spanish telenovelas. So we find him at the beginning of the movie, hidden away in his submersible crab mech. After being, this is something you don't see in the film, so it's inside information that he has been rescued by his loyal sycophant, Agent Stone, pulled from the rubble, broken and battered, and nursed back to health to save the franchise. Gerald is the rock that Ivo crawled out from under, you know? So there's a lot of similarities. I think you might be surprised at the level of dastardliness in Gerald. He comes off like a real loving grandfather at first, but you know, you start to wonder because I think Ivo, when he meets Gerald, he turns into a kind of a puppy dog, and suddenly his heart is opened like you've never seen before, and he starts wanting to do tricks and, you know, get a biscuit and a belly rub and stuff. And I think Gerald is more the kind of pet owner that would keep him in a cage overnight. It was an incredible challenge, actually. It was harder than I thought it was going to be because not only did I have to kind of like play my part, but I had this wonderful actor, Brendan Murphy, who was selfless enough to learn both roles. And when I was Robotnik, he was Gerald. When he was Gerald, I was Robotnik, and it was twice the work, but I get all the glory. So it was really fun, but I had to, while I was playing Robotnik, I had to kind of direct him and tell him what I planned to do as Gerald at the same time, which I had no idea. I'm gonna try this. And then I'd turn around and have to tell him what I did and remind him what I did yesterday. And so it was a weird self-directing masturbatory circle of creativity I needed a club to be a part of. So yeah, I think it was great. You know, at that time, yeah, there were people in my life that went, Hedgehog movie? I don't know if that's the next step. And I went, I don't know. There's just something about this movie, man. It's you know what? I really honestly think this is the best Hedgehog movie ever made. It's one of the top three, for sure. What three words would I use to describe the film? Way over. I was going to say the top, but that'd be four words, wouldn't it? Way too much. Way too much. Yeah, no, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, you know, and I'm surprised because I sit back, you know, when I was doing the action sequence where I had to play a praying mantis and a scorpion for about 4 days with a 50-pound suit on. Ellie Baker, who designed it, was wonderful. They were amazing, but you know, my dresser, Christian Goddard, had to take me in and out of the suit about 50 times a day whenever I was about to have a heart attack and die or I was excrementally challenged. He would slip me out of that thing. And but I kept sitting back during the making of that action sequence and going, this has to be the most expensive comedy scene ever made. It has to be. It's so elaborate. It's so incredible. And they're doing all this nano special effects and stuff with the suits. So I was really gratified to be part of it and to you know, put all of that silliness into such a huge project. You know, it really makes me happy, and the films make me happy. I like that families are going to enjoy them.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3. We are up against Shadow, and we're up against two different Robotniks, two different Jim Carreys. We have Ivo and Gerald, and it's, may I say, it's the fiercest opponents he's ever had. Can I say that? Great. I think he has this ability to, he really put in work and tried to find the character, which is amazing. And he found it so beautifully. I think that his darkness for that role, like you look at his John Wick characters, and I think Fowler had looked at a John Wick film and was like, oh my God, this guy would crush a Shadow. So I think there's a lot of that, and I think that's a big way that we kind of connected the two. But he's an incredible actor, he can do anything. I would say the second one is him forming a team, and the third one is Sonic learning how to be a leader of a team. Learning how to accept help, which is, I think, something that all of us have to be good at. It's hard sometimes to accept help. And learning when to take control, and learning when to trust his heart on certain choices. So it's like the three of them together, they're really friends, they're a group, and it's a matter of getting them cohesive and Sonic being the leader of that group. I think he like rebels against his parents a little bit more. He kind of like goes off and does his own thing a little bit more. I think you're seeing the decisions he makes, like him getting embarrassed sometimes, but also him getting a little bit more into things when he's fighting. He's even stronger. He's even like, the decisions he's making and things are more adult decisions as opposed to quick thought without, quick movement without thought. It's amazing. First of all, the level of difficulty to do scenes with yourself, because Jim had to do one side of the scene, then lock in whatever that was, and he's so smart, he has 1,000 different ideas for each thing, and then act against himself and all those things. And then there's like a dance sequence. It's already out that there's a dance sequence that two Jim Carreys do a dance sequence, and he's just like a magical being. We're so fortunate he's doing this movie because he is not only like, he obviously can do drama with Truman Show and Eternal Sunshine. He obviously is maybe, one of the highest rated, funniest comedic actors of all time. So the idea that he says yes to this thing gives himself so fully to it. He doesn't phone in any aspect of this performance. He has going 100% full throttle. That's why we're so lucky. I mean, he's doing our movies now, and we're very lucky. The Sonic universe is very lucky. The best part is I do voice notes for kids. I mean, thousands and thousands of voice notes for kids. I'll say, hey, it's Sonic in the Sonic voice, and then find it specific about them and talk about them for a little bit, and tell them I gotta go fast. I wish I could talk forever, but I gotta go fast. And then seeing the response from that has been amazing. But one of the best ones was a kid had gotten it and was like, oh my God, if Sonic is real, does that mean Robotnik is real? I think that was the best one I've gotten so far. But it's just like, I've seen a billion videos of like these incredible kids, it just makes their day, and they listen to it 1,000 times, and the fact that I can give them that is incredible.
Not so good.
Not so good for
Knuckles.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a come down a peg or two, Knuckles. He was the guy in film 2, so,
Come on.
I couldn't fight
What do
Keanu
you mean?
Reeves.
You've got professional fight training.
So do
now.
you.
I do not. I just have movie training. You have like real skill.
No, man, you're doing those moves.
No,
You are doing them
no.
moves. Sonic's better at running fast, I think.
He's fast runner.
He's very fast.
Yeah.
He gets there.
I got teleporting though. I can
So it's pretty.
teleport.
It's a
That's
bit
not
quicker.
running though.
No.
Right? So if we had to just run,
Yeah,
Sonic would be
Yeah.
in a race.
I can run, but I mean Knuckles, he's kind of heavy. He's a lot of muscle. He has a lot of muscle.
He's got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, he's got chaos energy. He's got teleportation. So
He looks cool all the
and
time.
he's got that. He's got, so as an adversarially, yeah, he presents some challenges.
I'm not one to really like impose my opinion on everyone. Not always, unless I'm asked. And so I'm not like Knuckles in that sense. You know what I mean? He's sort of like, "Bruh, this is what I think. Bruh." But I am inquisitive, and I want to understand. Tell me what happened. Did you? And Knuckles is a bit like that.
Sensitive. I'm very sensitive. And Shadow's very sensitive.
The Guardian Units of Nations is sort of, it's like the Pentagon, but in the Sonic universe. So we oversee all of that activity. Shadow is the bad guy in this movie, played by the wonderful Keanu Reeves, giving a tour de force performance. And yeah, he's bad, he's very exciting, dark and brooding.
It's huge, it's epic. It's you know, it's superheroes, it's action, it's humor, it's heart, it's all of the things.
It's Jim Carrey doing iconic Jim Carrey, and I think it's very exciting. He's a genius. He's one of the biggest artists of our whole time, and he's getting to do it twice, so it's very exciting.
Double the fun. It takes us all over. It takes us to London. It takes us to Tokyo, Green Hill. But it's yeah, it's epic. Truly, it's huge. For me, there's been so many because I do an awful lot of Comic-Cons, so I just have so many. I love the kid reactions because it doesn't make any sense for Tails' voice to come out of this face. It's and especially for kids that they can't quite wrap their head around it. So their reactions are my absolute favorite because they either squeal or they slowly back away because they're like, that's weird, I don't get it. But they're just so sweet.
I'll take one and you take two.
Okay.
Epic.
Adventure and
Heart.
oh, good one. Yes, we nailed it. I was gonna say hilarious.
I guess the liability meter goes up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. He's growing up. He's maturing, and we're getting to see him mature. And we're very proud of how we've raised him, I guess, for these last couple of films. And he's feeling himself. He's feeling his confidence. He's got his friend group and doesn't need us maybe as much as he thinks he does until he does, and then he comes home crying, and we have to help him out, like every teenager. But he is spreading his wings a bit, and Tom and Maddie are figuring out what to do with him gone most of the days.
Well, you'll see us trying to hone in on some hobbies. And I think after a while, it was fun in the beginning, and then we're like, okay, what do we do? You know,
Only make so much bread.
Yeah, and knit so many sweaters,
yeah.
and create so many puzzles? What was
Puzzles,
that? A 3D
yeah.
puzzle?
It's kind of a nod to the COVID time, right?
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
stuck at
yeah.
home, not being able to do anything while Sonic's out saving the world.
Yeah, yeah.
We're taking up new hobbies, and
Yeah, we're empty nesters, and now we're like, okay, we're
which
ready
is the
for
main
more.
reason to see the film. For Tom and Maddie's hobbies at home. Have fun, guys. He's a hedgehog, unlike Knuckles, who's an echidna. But yeah, very similar to
Sonic.
Sonic, but comes with a very big chip on his shoulder and sort of dark past. And he's filled with vengeance and all these sort of
Rage.
negative emotions and super power. He's quite a bit more powerful than our little furry friends. So he represents a new formidable foe for Sonic. But voiced by Keanu Reeves, who does that sort of brooding, mysterious thing very well. But at the core of him, who he is such a gentle kind of kindness to him, and you see that coming through Shadow as well. So hopefully they get to bring that part of him out.
Man, I think it's grown, obviously. Obviously, we're expanding the world with different creatures, but I think you see the maturity level of Sonic. You see him work with his teammates, like, for the first time, all together. I think he's trying to figure out what kind of leader he is. And I think also the love and the care and the advice that Tom and Maddie have poured into him, you get to actually see it in action. But they get to go to Tokyo and London, and it feels just bigger. The set pieces are huge, and you get two Jim Carreys and Robotnik, and you see the relationship between him and his family and the things that he needs. So in all aspects, I think it's just grown with emotion, it's grown with maturity, but it's also funnier and just a wide range of newness.
Bigger, better, faster.
Oh, there we go. You did it.
There we go is pretty good.
There we go.
Ivo has, let himself go a little bit. He's pretty depressed. He's down and out. He's lost all hope. I think it stems from the constant loss to Sonic. And in my belief, I think had he let Agent Stone help him out a little bit more, we wouldn't be dealing with this whole mess. I think there'll be some surprise, but I also think a lot of audiences know that he's capable of a lot that we haven't seen, right? He is an agent, he does have training, but I think it just ends up being quite funny that he chooses to be so subservient when he knows that he could handle a lot of things. Gerald Robotnik is Ivo Robotnik's grandfather, and I think Agent Stone, I know Agent Stone feels some jealousy towards it and can kind of sense that he doesn't really like what's going on between the two of them. It's incredible. For me personally, I got to watch both performances a lot, and he put so much work into finding similarities and differences in both characters, and is so committed, just cares so much about it. I don't know, it's incredible. The energy that he has is incredible. Shadow's capable of a lot. He has chaos energy, and he's pretty much fueled by revenge, anger, and grief, which, as we know, can be quite dangerous. I find that Keanu tends to have this insane amount of gravitas, especially within his voice, but with that, you can sense that there's a lot of depth and can be gentle when he needs to be, can be a little bit more forceful when he needs to be, and it suits Shadow so well. Oh, I think for Robotnik especially, it's kind of an ego hit. It's funny that that's the thing that gets him out of his rut, is the fact that everyone needs his help. But it's a little bit of an ego hit, and Sonic doesn't back down from it either. So you start to see them clash within this alliance, which is fun. At the time, it was an audition, it was an opportunity. So it wasn't really a choice. It was kind of given to me. You know what I mean? So I feel really fortunate and really blessed that I had the opportunity to come my way. And had I been given the choice, I would have said yes. Oh man, big, because of the action sequences, the high stakes. Lovely, because of the friendship and love, and jealousy because of Agent Stone's jealousy towards Gerald.
Shadow is a character that was introduced back in 2001 in Sonic Adventure 2. He was a very new and dynamic character to the Sonic universe. He was sort of a darker and more mysterious version of Sonic. And he was a hedgehog, but has a lot of amazing powers, including this ability to teleport, which was awesome. But no, it just brought something really new and unique to the Sonic world at that time. He's just a very enigmatic, very complex, very mysterious character. And I think fans just saw him for what it was, which is just an awesome new addition to the world. Keanu is so well known for creating those types of characters. It's just that mysterious and edgy, but cool and likable, and just all the great action films he's been involved with, and he just brings something to those characters that it's so compelling, and we just knew he would be a perfect fit for Shadow. Sonic 1, he was just sort of a kid, living on his own on Earth, and had no family, no friends, just very much an outsider, just looking for connection. We gave him that connection, we gave him that family. And then Sonic 2, he sort of found his squad. He found some friends and Tails and Knuckles that, also were sort of these kind of little misfit characters from different corners of the universe. They all came together to form this team. And then in Sonic 3, we're kind of getting to see Team Sonic get challenged by Shadow, and what now Sonic is having to come into this role as a leader of this team and make hard choices, and very quickly see how those choices impact things. So it's always important to challenge your heroes, to come at them with interesting and new sort of angles on their story. And I think this is this third film. It just has everything the fans could ask for.
What's so exciting about this third film, I mean, the second film, we certainly opened things up in a big way, but now we're really going global. I mean, Gun headquarters, where some of the story takes place, is right here in London, and we get to take advantage of this, iconic sort of setting and all the amazing landmarks. Sonic and Shadow's first meeting takes place in Tokyo, in Shibuya Crossing, which is just incredible, neon-filled, dynamic environment, and we just knew we wanted that first action sequence between Sonic and Shadow to just be splashy color and just really vibrant imagery and everything that you see in the games, and to create those kind of really dazzling visuals in the film. And then also we get to go to space in this whole third act, the Eclipse Cannon, which is a direct lift and an Easter egg from Sonic Adventure 2, but getting to go to space and get these stunning views of the Earth below. I mean, it's just, it's extraordinary. I'm so excited for everyone to see the visuals of this film, and they are so meant for the big screen. I mean, that's, I think, always in the back of our mind, not only telling a great story, telling a visual story, but just going for the biggest possible scope and just really give families and audiences and fans a reason to go to the theaters and just see this on the biggest screen imaginable. It's the same that I used to describe all these, because it's really the most important ingredients. I mean, it's action, it's humor, but most important, it's heart. Like, you've got to care about these characters, and that's what really, when audiences leave the theater, we want them feeling like they've just been on this journey and gone through emotions and really been invested with these characters. I think characters are really what makes the great film sort of separate from the rest, and so we push so hard on making these characters compelling and giving them great stories that families and audiences can really connect with.